The grand hall of the celestial throne gleamed with bioluminescent crystals that pulsed in rhythm with the planet's magnetic field. Felix stood at the center of the circular chamber, his worn boots leaving faint marks on the pristine alabaster floor. Around him, the assembled nobility of the Crithian Empire watched with barely concealed contempt, their scaled skin shimmering in hues that denoted their respective houses. Queen Velshara reclined on her floating throne, a masterwork of gravity-defying technology that only the royal bloodline could command. Her crown, if it could be called such, was a living organism that fed on neural energy, its tendrils spreading across her cranium like veins of liquid silver. She regarded Felix with eyes that had seen 3 centuries pass, eyes that held the accumulated arrogance of a species that had conquered 47 star systems. Before humanity had even discovered fire, a human, she said, her voice carrying the melodious quality of her species, though edged with ice. You stand before the eternal court and claim to be a military advisor worthy of our attention. Tell me, little primate, how many battles have you actually fought? The courtiers tittered, a sound like wind chimes in a storm. Felix noticed Evelyn standing among the diplomatic contingent, her jaw tight, her hands clasped behind her back. She had warned him this would happen. The Crithians didn't respect humanity. To them, humans were newcomers barely 300 years into space travel. With only 12 colony worlds to their name, Felix met the Queen's gaze without flinching. 28, your radiance. The laughter died instantly. The silence that followed was absolute. Even the bioluminescent crystals seemed to dim, as if the hall itself held its breath. Queen Velshara's expression shifted from mocking amusement to something harder, more calculating. Impossible, she said flatly. The average Crithian warrior participates in perhaps 5 or 6 conflicts during their service. Our most decorated generals have seen 12, perhaps 15. She leaned forward, and her throne drifted closer to Felix. You claim to have fought in 28 battles? You, who have lived barely for decades. Yes, your radiance. He lies, hissed Lord Curthin from his position among the War Council. Humans have only been into interstellar conflicts, the Proxima Skirmish and the Belt Wars. Even their most experienced soldiers could not have, I didn't say interstellar battles. Felix interrupted, his voice calm but carrying across the chamber. The breach of protocol speaking over a lord caused gasps throughout the hall. But he continued, your radiance asked how many battles I've fought, not how many wars. Evelyn closed her eyes briefly. She knew what was coming. Queen Velshara's tendrils rippled with interest. Explain. Humans, Felix began, have been at war with ourselves for our entire recorded history. Before we reached the stars, before we unified under the Terran coalition, we fought, constantly, not across star systems, across continents, across oceans, across lines drawn in dirt and sand. He took a step forward. The guards tensed, but the Queen raised a hand, stopping them. I enlisted at 19. Felix continued. The Saharan conflict was my first deployment. We fought for 3 years over water rights and rare earth minerals. That was 7 major engagements. Then came the Pacific Unification, another for battles. The South American Resource Wars gave me 6 more. Then I went private security contractor for the Mars colony during the Separatist uprising. 5 battles there, each one in tunnels so tight you could smell the person next to you burning when the plasma fire hit. The hall remained utterly silent. Felix could see the expressions changing around him from mockery to something approaching horror. After Mars, I joined the coalition military properly. The Belt Wars were already underway. 3 major ship-to-ship engagements. Then the Proxima Skirmish, where the 1st commanded a platoon during the ground assault on Proxima Centauri B. That was my 28th. Barbaric, whispered someone in the crowd. Yes, Felix agreed simply. We are, or we were. Maybe we still are. He looked directly at the Queen. Your radiance. The Crithian Empire expanded through superior technology and strategic brilliance. You fought 15 major campaigns over 3,000 years. You are magnificent strategists, and your victories are testaments to your civilization's advancement. Queen Velshara's expression was unreadable. But humanity didn't have 3,000 years of peace between our wars. Felix continued. We didn't fight 1 conflict per century. We fought constantly, brutally, learning from each mistake, because we had to, because if we didn't, we'd be dead. We invented new ways to kill each other every generation. We turned our entire world into a laboratory of warfare. Evelyn stepped forward now, her voice steady. Your Radiance, this is why the Coalition sent Commander Felix. Not because humans are superior warriors, we're not. Your soldiers are stronger, faster, better equipped. But we understand something your civilization, thankfully, has never had to learn. And what is that? The Queen asked. Desperation, Felix said quietly. We know what it means to fight when retreat isn't an option, when surrender means extinction, when every battle might be the last one your species ever fights. He paused. The Void Swarm doesn't negotiate. They don't take prisoners. They consume and move on. You've fought them twice now, and both times you've retreated to regroup and strategize, which is the intelligent thing to do. But you cannot afford another retreat, Evelyn added. The Swarm is 3 systems away from your core worlds. You need someone who understands warfare not as an occasional necessity, but as a constant, grinding reality. Queen Velshara was quiet for a long moment. Finally, she spoke. You are asking us to embrace barbarism. No, Your Radiance, Felix replied. I'm asking you to let humanity be barbaric on your behalf. Let us be the monsters you never had to become. Let our blood-soaked history serve a purpose beyond our shame. The Queen's tendrils pulsed with colors Felix didn't recognize. Then, slowly, she nodded. Very well, Commander Felix. Show us what 28 battles have taught you. Teach my generals what it means to fight like a human. As Felix bowed, Evelyn caught his eye. There was pride there, and sorrow, and understanding. Humanity's greatest strength had always been its greatest curse, the ability to endure, to adapt, to survive despite turning their own world into hell. Now, perhaps that curse could save someone else's heaven.